Motherhood Incorporated proudly presents Military Mom Talk Radio live on TogiNet.com. Co-hosted by Robin Boyd and Sandra Beck, the owner of Motherhood Incorporated. Military Mom Talk Radio is here with a powerful platform for women to discuss their ideas, issues, and concerns with respect to the military lifestyle. Military Mom Talk Radio encourages you to share your experiences of being a military wife and mother. This show is dedicated to educating your family about the many resources that are available in both the public and private sector, and we'll be sharing helpful information from women all over the world. We'll cover everything military, from helping a family member cope with post-traumatic stress disorder, to navigating government programs dealing with family issues, to the struggles of deployment, along with being a working mother both in and out of the home. This is Military Mom Talk Radio, and here are your hosts, Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd.
Hello, military moms. Welcome to our Thanksgiving special of Military Mom Talk Radio. I'm Robin Boyd, in for Sandra Beck, and we wanted to present to you an encore of two shows we thought were particularly appropriate for the holiday season. Thanksgiving is traditionally a day for families gathering, sharing a special meal, and sharing prayers of thanks. Every week, Sandra and I strive to recognize what our military families do for our country. Not only the enlisted person's sacrifice, but the whole family who is also a part of that service to our country. Thanksgiving is a perfect time for us as a nation to express our thanks to our military troops and their families. Thank you for your service, for your dedication, and thank you for the job you are doing instead of sitting at your family's table. Our two encores both feature organizations that reach out to our military troops to show our appreciation for all they do. Later in the show, we'll feature a portion of our visit with Debbie Nichols and Kristen Houston of the Military Children's Charities, dedicated to enriching the lives of American service members' children. Given the reality of multiple deployments and separation, M.C.C. recognizes that America's military children deserve to be appreciated and publicly recognized for their personal sacrifices on behalf of our nation. For these reasons, M.C.C. endeavors to provide gifts to these children through the generosity of individual contributions, donations, and grants. But first, we'll revisit our conversation with Jula Jane of Operation G.I. Jane, dedicated to supporting deployed single mothers serving in the U.S. military. Now, the Pentagon reports that more than 155,000 women have served in Iraq and Afghanistan, and among their ranks are more than 30,000 single mothers, a number that the military experts say is unprecedented. According to the U.S. Defense Department, there are more than 70,500 single parents on active duty in the U.S. military, comprising of about 5% of all service members. Operation G.I. Jane is a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting deployed single mothers in the U.S. military, saying thanks to them by helping these women communicate with their children via web technology. It's an awesome webcam. She describes it as Skype on steroids. With airfare for much-needed visits home, with special kits for both mother and child, healing therapy, and career transitioning. What a gift. Let's listen to Jula.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Miss Jula Jane, before we get into Operation G.I. Jane and some of the other things that you are participating in?
Well, I am a defense contractor based in the United States, primarily in Atlanta and D.C., but myself, my partner, and our staff is all over the world. In fact, we were in Afghanistan. I was there personally about a year or so ago. My team just came back this month, actually. They just finished deploying a major project all over 37 forward operating bases. So we're pretty much in and around everything that has to do with the military. And in doing so, we come in contact with a lot of deployed single women, deployed single mothers. And that's basically how Operation G.I. Jane was formed, just through finding a need and wanting to fill it.
Well, and as the radio show's host, resident single mother of 2 kids, I applaud you because we need all the help we can get. And, when you think of deployment and you think of serving in the military as a single mom of kids, my heart and my hat goes out to the women who serve in this capacity and our single dads, too, because there's quite a few single dads out there serving as well. But let's talk about Operation G.I. Jane. What does it do?
Okay, Operation G.I. Jane is 100% dedicated to supporting deployed single mothers in the United States military. So basically, when a woman comes into our program, we try and really find out what her greatest need is and meet it in all aspects. And it's not just women in a crucial need, but it's also satisfying whatever need they might have to keep the bond strong with their children. I try to explain it to people. Imagine you're patriotic, you're serving your country, and now you're deployed for 12 months, sometimes longer. And you have young children at home, and you're a single mom. Often, hopefully, the family care plan comes into play and everything goes well, but you're still separated. Now, there are a lot of times where the family care plan falls apart, even at the last minute. So Operation G.I. Jane, basically we have 5 main programs that helps keep the mother-child bond strong, and beyond that, we try and help in any way we can. So we're not only doing fundraising so that the charity can support financially how we need to, but also partnering with companies and organizations worldwide. I can give you a fun example. There was this woman who came through my office. We train about 50 military folks every week. My company, Cognizant International, does. And they come from all over the world. And there was a deployed single mother in our training program. And her instructor brought her into my office, and we chatted for the longest time. And she was about to do her 4th deployment. So she's a career military professional, strong woman, really intelligent, well-spoken, really wonderful woman. And she was telling me about her children. She has 2 daughters who are probably young teens by now. And every time she's deployed, they go live with their godparents. And wow. One thing that moved me that I didn't really think about, pretty much help that people need. Mm-hmm. But one thing I didn't consider was her daughter, she's an African-American girl and needs her hair done every 2 weeks. So, but they can't afford it, and the godparents can't afford it either. So this is just a fun little thing that Operation G.I. Jane can do. We're going to step in, contact the hair salons in her immediate area, tell them about her, and, next thing you know, she'll have her hair done twice a month just like she needs, and that hair salon will have a little bit of PR. So it's a win-win. So Operation G.I. Jane isn't just about raising money and putting that money to work. It's about networking.
Wow. And how would people find you, military women find you? Do you find them, or do they seek you out? I'm sure, I know on your website you quote some statistics saying that the Pentagon reports more than 155,000 women have served in Iraq and Afghanistan, and among their ranks there are more than 16,000 single mothers. That's, as you say, unprecedented. So are you finding this phenomenal number of people, or are they seeking you out in droves?
Well, it's a little bit of both. We have a huge launch party planned for Saturday, October 29th. We're calling Halloween Hoorah. And we have about 500 people coming, and we hope to raise around $100,000 that night. And beyond just raising the money, it's creating more awareness. So a lot of the media is involved. I've even heard talk of the Today Show, CNN, all the big players might be coming into play. We have it's going to be an over-the-top party with a special ops team rappelling from the top of a hotel adjacent to us with IEDs going off, music.
Oh, my
dancing.
God.
Yeah, it's fun. We're bringing in a lot of military brass and the socialites and the charity circuit, the people who love to come and bid on silent auction items and, put
I want to go. Really?
It's a military-themed party. Everybody's decked out, So the underlying message, though, is, of course, Operation G.I. Jane, which benefits directly from that event. So it's things like certain events throughout the year, as well as reaching out to the family readiness divisions on different bases. So we're actively trying to create awareness, and we're also having people knock on our door.
Oh,
which is
Jula,
perfect.
we want to hear a little bit more about this after the break. I'm talking with Jula Jane today from Operation G.I. Jane. This is Military Mom Talk Radio, and after the break, more with Jula about her event in October, as well as all of the wonderful things she does all year long. Back in a moment.
Are you a military mom looking for help in dealing with the system? Keeping the home fires burning? Well, that's what we're here for. It's Military Mom Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd. And we'll be right back after these.
The Way of the Toddler, with hosts Lita and Lori Hamilton, is a show unlike any other parenting program you've ever heard. Zen Masters in Diapers? Yes. Join us Tuesday afternoons at 5, 4 Central here on TogiNet as we celebrate parenthood as a spiritual path for a journey to inner peace. With thought-provoking and spiritually compelling guests, each week Lita and Lori will explore how our children help us with the lessons we came here to learn, adding deeper meaning to our lives and relationships while giving you valuable gems to add to your unique parenting toolkit. Check out the website, thewayofthetoddler.com. With great humor and honesty, Lita and Lori will demonstrate how inner peace is possible even when surrounded by poopy diapers and piles of laundry, and what we can learn from the innate wisdom and natural spirituality of our Zen Masters in Diapers. It's The Way of the Toddler with Lita and Lori Hamilton, Tuesday afternoons at 5, 4 Central, here on TogiNet.com. Fertility. It's an extremely personal subject. Tune in Monday nights at 9, 8 Central for the Fertility Forum with infertility psychotherapist and expert Phyllis Martin on TogiNet.com. This is the show about infertility, gaining support, and information. Phyllis will assist you in navigating the disappointments and decisions that often accompany the difficult journey from diagnosis to conception, pregnancy to parenthood. She is passionate about her work and is an expert in the donor egg field, bringing both her personal and professional experience to all she does. Ms. Martin has extensive experience in helping patients cope with infertility, pregnancy loss, adoption, surrogacy, miscarriage, pregnancy termination, and creative family building. She knows what you're going through, and she's here to help. It's the Fertility Forum with your host, Phyllis Martin, Monday nights at 9, 8 Central on TogiNet.com.
There ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Welcome back to Military Mom Talk Radio on TogiNet.com, covering topics to help on the home front with help from those who know how the system works and how to work the system. It's more fun than a sale at the BX. Now let's get back to it. It's Military Mom Talk Radio. Here again are your hosts, Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd.
Hey, military moms, this is Sandra, and I'm here with Robin and Doris, and we have just one of the most outstanding guests that we've had on in a long time today. Her name is Jula Jane, and she is part of Operation G.I. Jane. And they have this great party coming up, a fundraiser for single moms in the military. It's called the Halloween Hoorah. And, yes, you can get tickets online at the site, which is OperationGIJane.com. You can go dance the night away. There'll be celebrity judges. You get to dress up as your favorite wartime hero, politician, or pinup girl.
I love it.
I know. I would so love it. I would so love to go to this.
Jula, can we make sure, is it operation-gijane.org? Is that what's correct?
That one's correct, as well as OperationGIJane.com.
Oh, wonderful. Good. Because I was on one site and Sandra quoted another, so I want to make sure we get all the URLs out there.
Well, and there's just so many great things on this site, Jula. I mean, you've got this planes, trains, and automobiles, the personal shopper, healing hearts and minds, helping single mom veterans transitioning from military service to a civilian career. I mean, this is not an easy deal. This is not just your typical let's sell a sticker and give some women a few things. This is a big deal.
Thank you. It's very important to us. Our mission ultimately is to keep the mother-child bond strong, and we feel those 5 programs are crucial to doing that. The first one, Project OpenCom, we were lucky enough to partner with a company called PGI, who basically has a new product called iMeet. It's Skype on steroids. Coolest thing ever. The children can post their artwork from school, their tests, and the mom and the child interact with a URL, and they can enter that room online at any time, and it also notifies you in case you're not sitting at your computer. And they share information. It's real time. They're looking right at each other, talking. The fun thing is picture on a holiday when all the family comes together and she's deployed, let's say, in Afghanistan. Her whole family's together, her children. The child gets a text message saying, Mom's in your room.
Oh.
Everybody goes back to the computer, and right there on the screen is Mom. She can watch them unwrap presents, eat the family dinner. It's really just very cool. So they're giving every deployed single mom a membership to iMeet, which is normally $70 a month. So that's quite a gift. So that's Project OpenCom, one aspect of it. Of course, there's other things providing calling.
So now, hold on, Jula, before you roll on into the next one. For our single moms that are listening today that might want to be part of Project OpenCom, how do they do that?
It's really simple. They can either email or call us. So jula.jane@operation-gijane.org, or our main number is 404-389-1460. That's all they have to do, call and tell us a little bit about themselves and, who. Basically, our criteria is deployed single moms in the U.S. military.
Okay, so if you're a deployed mom in the U.S. military, you can also go to militarymomtalkradio.com, and we'll post that information on our site for you.
Oh, fantastic. So then another program, like you mentioned, planes, trains, and automobiles. So there's a lot of instances where a deployed single mom will be given a little bit of R&R, and she's sent back to her base. But let's say her base is in Georgia, but her children are living with their godparents in San Antonio. Mm-hmm. She may have the time off, but she may not have the money to fly them to her or her to them. So that's a big hardship. I mean, who wants to spend 2 weeks back home and you can't see your children? We want to step in.
Depends on the week, but go ahead.
Right. And, help them somehow bring them together. Plane, train, automobile, however we can make it happen. We want to make that happen. Or I've heard an instance where somebody came out of military service, finally found a job, but it was in another state, and her children were in yet another state, and so she moved, got the job, but she couldn't afford to bring her children back to her. So there's a lot of cases like that where we need to remain open. We can't foresee every need that there is going to be, but we want them to be able to come to us, explain the situation, and if we have the funding, great. If we don't have the funding, we're going to pound the pavement to find a partner who will help make that happen.
With this kind of a program, how much advance notice do you need? If all of a sudden someone gets a leave, can they call you and have this turn around fairly quickly, or do you really need a couple of months in advance?
Well, the goal is to be able to turn it around quickly. Mm-hmm. So that's why the fundraising effort is so important. So long as we have the funds in-house, we can make that decision right away and make it happen. If we don't, what might take a little more time is making phone calls and pounding on doors, saying, here's the situation, help us. Wow. And we're pretty persuasive.
I can imagine that anybody listening to your story is certainly going to want to be on board with this. This is just an amazing program or series of programs, and this is just an incredible gift. What about your fundraising? Where are you getting a lot of corporate support, or are you really person to person to person to person with some donations?
Well, there is some corporate support. My company ultimately is a platinum sponsor, if you will. It is my entire mission of everyone who works for Coggins International this is our corporate charity, if you will. We put everything we have into supporting Operation G.I. Jane, and by doing that, a lot of the companies we do business with are following suit, and then it just gets bigger from there. I think it's important to do at least one major fundraising event per year and then multiple smaller events with a lot of media attention. That's why I have special ops teams hanging off the side of buildings and things like that, is to get enough people moved to action and involved and excited about it. You can only do so much with words, but when you really get somebody feeling it and butterflies and goosebumps. That's when they reach into their pockets, if you will, and share the wealth.
Wow.
You put it so gracefully. Whenever I do fundraising for a lot of the charities that my company works for, I'm always like, if you make them cry, they'll write a check.
Exactly. That's true.
Sandra just gets right down there and just tells it like it is.
Well, but it's like when you cut to the chase on this stuff, it's like, charities don't exist. They're not a charity, by, the big charity fairy. It's like people have to open up their wallets and they need to donate. And we can see by the Wounded Warriors exercise with that poster, $25 times whatever, 100 people or 100,000 people, whatever it was, adds up to a lot of money. And then you have these big giant hearts like Jula Jane and the entire team over here at Military Mom Talk Radio that open their hearts and their wallets and fund these charitable endeavors. And and it can't be matched. And there's no way to say thank you, Jula, for what you do for these single moms. And I know you don't do it for the thanks, but on behalf of everybody here at Military Mom Talk Radio and the women that listen to our show and write in, thank you for honoring the single mothers in the military, because that's something that I haven't come across. I think you guys are the only ones that do that.
I think so. Yeah. I saw a really big need for it. And thank you very much. You're very kind. I have a theory. I think if everybody in the world just took 5 minutes or $5 and did something for some cause that meant something to them, what a world we would be in. Wow. So this one happens to move me and my whole team to action. So we're lucky, to be able to do something. We're very excited about it.
Mm. In the few minutes before the break, I think we should plug your company a little bit, Coggins International. What kind of a firm is Coggins International?
We have a 40-year history in fuels automation and systems integration. Basically, wherever the fuel goes, we go. So with the military, a lot of us have a funny little thing we like to say for the pilots: what would a pilot be without fuel? A pedestrian. So we're pretty much out there and everywhere.
Wow, I have somebody I'm going to say that to next week on your behalf, because there's nothing I like to do more than post the military. Especially
and I think we have a lot of close fighter pilots who we adore, and we keep in the sky with the automation. So basically, we're not. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so this is where your connection came. You're actually providing fuel for a lot of the military contracts. So therefore,
right?
Yeah.
Right, we're a defense contractor, so the Defense Logistics Agency is our number one customer. We're also in commercial aviation. Basically, anything that touches fuel touches fuels automation. I'll give you just a quick, basic example. Picture a major jumbo jet airline, touching down at an airport. A cart or a truck comes out to refuel the aircraft. In the past, he would be given a fuel ticket, a piece of paper that they write down the fuel accountability on it. Mm-hmm. With what we're doing, fuels automation, it all becomes a handheld computer. Everything's automated, so there's a lot less room for error all the way around. So we're doing that not just commercial aviation, but throughout the military. I think the product's in 700 military bases across the world. So you can see how we touch a lot of the military, and just doing that, we really have seen the need. Plus, my whole company is primarily ex-military.
Wow.
So they know firsthand the need. Quick story, and cut me off if you need to.
About a minute and a half. Yeah, we're at about a minute and a half.
Okay. I have a previously deployed single mother who works for me as an instructor. She lost custody of her daughter while she was deployed in Iraq because she was deemed an unfit mother.
Oh, no.
Because she was deployed. Yeah.
Right.
What?
That does happen
Every
a lot.
one of us, I'm sure the cackles on the back of our necks just went up hearing that.
Really?
We have a lot more to talk about with G.I. Jane and our beautiful guest, Jula Jane from Coggins International. You can find more information at OperationGIJane.com, or it's Operation-GIJane.com. GIJane.org. You'll be able to find a lot more on www.militarymomtalkradio.com, because we're certainly going to be posting a lot more information and links to Jula's websites and a lot more about her information. Definitely check out our website, and you can check the show page here on TogiNet. You're also able to download our podcasts from iTunes, and we want you to check us out on Facebook. Yes, we're there as well. So on the other side of the break, we'll have a little more with Jula Jane, and here come the tunes. We'll be back in a moment.
Are you a military mom looking for help in dealing with the system? Keeping the home fires burning? Well, that's what we're here for. It's Military Mom Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd. And we'll be right back after these.
Girlfriended is on TogiNet. Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, with your hosts Patty Wyatt and Lisa Jernigan. This show is your chance to share, learn, laugh, and connect with other women. The Girlfriended principle was born out of loss.
Lisa had recently had her mother pass away from cancer, and my mom was murdered. A man just walking into a room and started a 23-second shooting spree.
I think one of the things we both realized going through those tragedies that you can be extremely okay and be extremely sad.
Check out girlfriended.com. And then be a part of Girlfriended, the radio show. Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central.
You know, your boyfriend or your husband or whatever, they don't totally understand that emotional side to women like another woman does. And I think that's so important, just to have somebody that you go, she gets me.
Check out the website, girlfriended.com. Don't miss Girlfriended with Patty Wyatt and Lisa Jernigan. Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central on toginet.com.
In the healthcare industry today, most of us are left in the dark when our doctors talk to us about our health and wellness. It seems that they don't have enough time to be informative and give us the options we deserve. Are you frustrated with today's medical advice as I am?
Join the Medical Insider with Danny Walker and Dr. Richard Powell as they discuss the insider look at various therapies, medications, supplements, and much, much more. We will bring you the cutting-edge information regarding your healthcare and how you can take control of your healthcare decisions by not being fooled but being informed. Danny Walker and Dr. Richard Powell will be joined by experts in various fields throughout the healthcare industry, and they'll uncover the information that you should know about when it comes time to making those crucial decisions.
Don't be fooled. Be informed with the Medical Insider every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 Central.
Put a boot in your ass, it's the American way. Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of his list, and the Statue of Liberty started shaking.
Welcome back to Military Mom Talk Radio on toginet.com. Covering topics to help on the home front with help from those who know how the system works and how to work the system. It's more fun than a sale at the BX. Now let's get back to it. It's Military Mom Talk Radio. Here again are your hosts, Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd.
Hey, military moms, this is Robin Boyd here with Sandra Beck and Doris Rivas-Brecky with you today on a very, very busy show. We have two guests we want to introduce to you, and we're so excited to hear more information about the Military Children's Charity in Santa Ana, California. We have Kristen Houston and Debbie Nichols with us. Kristen, are you there? Debbie?
Yes. Yes, Hi, this is Kristen. I'm here. Thank you so much, Sandra.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Welcome, welcome. Kristen, you are the founding vice president, is that correct, among some other titles?
Yes, that is correct. I came in, very early in the project, and I am currently the founding vice president.
Wonderful. Is it an organization where you probably wear many, many hats in the office? It depends on what day and which phone you answer.
Oh yes, definitely, and it's not my full-time job either. We're a board that's driving this organization of all volunteers. There's no salaries involved, and most of us have other jobs.
Wow. So you're very, very busy. especially with the holiday coming. Tell us a little bit about the organization itself. It started when?
Yeah, absolutely, and just first want to thank you so much for the opportunity to be on this forum and to be able to share about Military Children's Charity. And in preparation, I would say over the weekend I started listening to your podcast and I just couldn't stop. So you have a lot of great topics while I was getting ready for work or cutting watermelon. I just kept listening and really appreciate the topics that you bring. So we'll have you on every week if you're willing to do that. Thank you for that, and hopefully through this partnership of having us on, we'll be able to share, with others some of the great content that you have. But to get to your first question, I wanted to tell you a little bit about how this, the seed of this idea got started, and I think it's very poignant to the, to the entire mission of Military Children's Charity, which is to really enrich the lives of the children of our service members and also acknowledge them for the sacrifices they make. And it was started actually a little over a year ago, and it was started and co-founded by Isaiah, a high schooler, a teenager. He was 14 at the time, and his mother, Cherie, who's now the CEO. But really how this came about is Isaiah got involved in a service project for school, and he chose that he was going to collect some gifts, for a charity of deployed American service members. And as he, embarked on this project, one of the things that he did, he's an accomplished speaker, even as a teenager, but he went to his church and the pastor agreed to allow him to speak in front of a forum of, a couple thousand. And so he told his very moving story about what it was like growing up as a child of a military service member, and the challenges that he faced, not only from moving, but also, absences of the parent being gone and the anxiety that maybe they wouldn't return home. And he was greeted with such a fantastic outpouring of support. I recall I was not there, but he even moved, many male parishioners and churchgoers to tears, and basically through this he realized that, wow, the community really does care. Mm-hmm. And this isn't something that they probably ever really thought about. They know that a lot of people are involved in war and serving our country, but how that trickled down to the child of that service member wasn't likely something that really, was in their awareness. And so he did very, very well in the project, and by December of 2009, he had collected 1,460 gifts.
My word.
And people even walked up and gave him money and said, do what you need to do with this.
Wow.
And so, that impact and the impact of delivering those gifts, I mean, from and it's all service lines, services, all branches, was, so overwhelming for him, and the appreciation was so overwhelming. And I know it's not just for the gift itself, although that's just a lovely distraction, but, to just be acknowledged for, the world cares. We realize what you might be going through. I think that will live with them for a lifetime, is what has dawned on me over the past year and a half. But the point being, he couldn't let go of that, and so he approached his mom, said, "Mom, can you start a charity?"
Oh, my goodness.
So, Cherie likes to take on, huge and worthwhile projects, because I've known her before this time, and so she went for it. And the charity, as we share about it, just gets fantastic feedback. And I can tell you, last year, holiday time, we more than doubled that number to just a little over 3,000 gifts, and this year we're looking at our target of 10,000. I think we're going to hit it.
Wow. And we should mention Cherie. We're speaking of Cherie Navarro. And is Isaiah and Cherie from Santa Ana? Is that where this...
Well, being military family, they moved around quite a bit.
Well, sure.
So that right now that's where they reside in Orange, California.
I see. Yeah. How did they go about orchestrating the delivery of that first?
Yeah, that you know what, that is a huge logistical question that I'm so glad that you asked, because receiving a gift is a logistic in and of itself, whether it's money or an item, but to actually sort, package, connect with the military, which is actually a huge point that I don't want to overlook. Even if people are aware of, gosh, I would like to, do something, acknowledge the connection between that thought and actually getting something to a child in the military is not an easy trick. So from that standpoint, the charity brings in a great service to the community who would like to say thank you. And logistically, we have an amazing company in Anaheim, OC Industrial, that provides the transportation, the warehousing, even some staff to help sort, the products. And we've even had companies give crates, which are very, very expensive, to be able to deliver those. So if you go onto our website, which you mentioned earlier, I think you'll see some pictures, and on our Facebook fan page, of military servicemen receiving gifts in these great big crates. And yes, we've had some fantastic corporate support, and OC Industrial has headed that up, and they're located in Anaheim, one of their locations.
Wow.
And they give that all pro bono, in-kind contribution.
Wow. We definitely want to say thank you to Orange County Industrial. That really is a gift in and of itself. Do you work primarily with corporate sponsors, or do you have a majority of donors, contributions that fund? Because it's one thing to get all of these gifts, then comes the shipment of these gifts.
Right. It is actually a combination. We have companies, once they became aware of it, they said, gosh, we'll host a gift collection effort. And so we have companies, we have churches, we have schools, we have, other nonprofit organizations who give items, ship items to us, or we arrange for the receipt of that. So, and it's individuals.
Wow.
Really, it touches everybody, and that's just everybody has compassion once they learn of the challenges and the sacrifices.
Sure.
So,
yeah,
it's a good world.
It does. Yeah. We have about 3 minutes before our break. Now, Debbie, how did you become involved with M.C.C.?
I became involved when I personally experienced when my daughter deployed. She's active Air Force presently. When she deployed to Afghanistan, my husband and I, we had our granddaughters come and live with us. We moved them into our home, and that was our first experience of what deployment was all about, and that impact of not only for my husband and I, but also for my granddaughters. And I had no idea until when it was all over. I thought, why isn't there more organizations or something that's helping military families, recognize some of these children and what they really experience. And I was introduced to military children's charity through the Red Cross Forum, which I felt really blessed for, because it enabled me to see what a great project they had, and it impacted my granddaughters. In fact, my granddaughters are advisors on the board now.
That's wonderful.
It is wonderful, and it's a great thing, because my granddaughters, when they received their gifts from Military Children's Charity, it made them feel that they were recognized for the service that their mother was serving for the country, and it made them feel extremely special. So that is how I have become involved, and really think it's a great organization.
Well, you have personally been benefited by this, and so it's wonderful that the girls are able to give back. We're going to talk a little bit more later on in the show about that relationship that went from being a grandparent to being a guardian, which is a challenge in and of itself. We'll talk with you a little bit more about that at a little bit later in the show. But in the meantime, we're going to get ready for a break. We have Kristen Houston and Debbie Nichols from the Military Children's Charity. We're here with Sandra Beck and Doris Rivas-Brecky. We'll be back on Military Mom Talk Radio in just a minute.
Are you a military mom looking for help in dealing with the system? Keeping the home fires burning? Well, that's what we're here for. It's Military Mom Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd. And we'll be right back after these.
Season Me is on TogiNet, a delightful, thoughtful, serious, and not-so-serious call-in show with Cecil Murphy and Twyla Belk. Tuesday nights at 8, 7 Central on TogiNet.com. You know Cease is the veteran author from 90 Minutes in Heaven, Gifted Hands, When a Man You Loved Was Abused, and many other books, as well as a mentor for writers. And Twyla Belk is an effervescent force known as the Gotta Tell Somebody gal. She's also a writer and motivational speaker who's always bragging on God. For more on Cecil Murphy, go to his website, cecilmurphy, that's PHEY.com. And for Twyla, GottaTellSomebody.com. The show, Season Me, is a far-reaching, faith-based shared conversation and call-in show with questions welcome. A chance to get everything out in the open, from questions about writing to surviving sexual abuse to the topics of the day, all from a Christian worldview to help you. Season Me, Cecil Murphy, Twyla Belk, Tuesday evenings at 8, 7 Central on TogiNet.com. Fertility is an extremely personal subject. Tune in Monday nights at 9, 8 Central for the Fertility Forum with infertility psychotherapist and expert Phyllis Martin on TogiNet.com. This is the show about infertility, gaining support, and information. Phyllis will assist you in navigating the disappointments and decisions that often accompany the difficult journey from diagnosis to conception, pregnancy to parenthood. She is passionate about her work and is an expert in the donor egg field, bringing both her personal and professional experience to all she does. Ms. Martin has extensive experience in helping patients cope with infertility, pregnancy loss, adoption, surrogacy, miscarriage, pregnancy termination, and creative family building. She knows what you're going through, and she's here to help. It's the Fertility Forum with your host, Phyllis Martin, Monday nights at 9, 8 Central on TogiNet.com.
There ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Welcome back to Military Mom Talk Radio on TogiNet.com, covering topics to help on the home front with help from those who know how the system works and how to work the system. It's more fun than a sale at the BX. Now let's get back to it. It's Military Mom Talk Radio. Here again are your hosts, Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd.
Hello, military moms and families and everyone out there. This is Robin Boyd with you today on Military Mom Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Doris Rivas-Brecky. We have Kristen Houston and Debbie Nichols today, and we're so glad to learn more about this organization doing so many good things. And Debbie, your daughter is an Air Force soldier.
Yes, she just became a master sergeant.
Master sergeant, congratulations!
I know we're we're very proud of her. She's been in 15 years.
Wow!
I know.
And she has 2 daughters.
Yes, she does. She has 2 daughters. Their ages now are 14 and 10. When she deployed, they were 10 and 6 at the time. And my daughter had just become divorced maybe a year prior. And I was clueless what I was in for on the word deployment. I had no idea. Pretty much her career path was a non-deployable one, and then after September 11th, many things changed, And so, she always kind of said, well, Mom, someday I could deploy. And I thought it'd be like going TDY, doing some type of training. That's what I thought. We had no background whatsoever.
Wow.
So for myself, when she said that, that she could possibly deploy, I said, oh, we'll just figure that out when it happens to us. And about 30 days later, she called us up and said, I'm coming home for Christmas. It's the first Christmas I've been able to spend with the family in years because of where her location was. And she said, and Mom, I just got my deployment. I'm going to Afghanistan January 1. And
wow.
I was like, am I hearing correctly? That's the first thing I thought. And then I thought, oh, my God, this means that my grandchildren are going to come live with us. And
wow.
it just kind of, everything went through my head. My head was spinning because I really didn't know what I was in for.
And they were not living near you.
No.
Near you either. So it's not like the girls coming to Grandma's house is not just like an everyday occurrence.
Exactly. They would only come and visit us maybe once a year or twice a year if we were lucky on vacation. So, but my daughter, I will say, I give her so much credit. She prepared the children a lot. She talked about the possibility of deployment, and if that happened, then they would come to live with us. And the eldest one was excited about that. The youngest one was pretty little, and she just didn't really connect the dots,
Sure. This probably might be a little bit of a private question, but if you care to answer it, when you do this, do you legally take on guardianship, or are you still Grandma? And Mom
then you mean, or now?
Well, then, when she was deployed, your daughter was deployed, did she actually give you guardianship so you could make those decisions if the girls needed medical attention, if the girls needed permission slips or whatever? Okay.
Everything. The responsibility became my husband's and my responsibility. And that's kind of a hard thing when you're a parent thinking, oh my goodness, this is my grandchildren. Now I am totally responsible for.
Right.
And I was my husband and I were both working empty nesters and had not had children in the home for 13 years.
Sure.
Wow.
So that was really
talk about taste of freedom, man.
Oh man, we were having fun. And then we got sucked back. No.
Well, and I just think of logistics as far as legal things, and I'm always thinking whenever I do an event, I'm always the one who brings up liability, and I'm always the one.
Oh, I know. And I'm always the one that brings up, wow, break for your kids.
Yeah.
Yes, and you always hope that nothing's going to happen under your watch when you're the guardian.
Not. Right.
Yes.
Who gets the first broken arm, and who gets...
That's exactly what happened. We didn't have a broken arm, but we did have an injury, and yes, I remember that thinking, okay, how are we going to even contact her, because it was not easy communication when she was deployed whatsoever, and she found out many days later, but those were just the things. It's a heavy responsibility, but I was determined that I wanted to make it a positive one for all of us.
Oh, sure.
And that was our goal.
And it is hard because you do have to say, all right, I'm doing this, and you get the emotional bit out, but then you do have to say, all right, I need to protect the girls, I need to protect my daughter, and I need to be able to have the legal ability to enact if something is necessary, and that's just one of those details that you've got to get out in the open, and you've got to make sure that you take care of that.
Yes.
It must have been a real challenge for the girls to move. Was it Arizona did they live? And had to move to California.
They had only been in Arizona for 6 months, and that's when my daughter deployed again, and so when she deployed, then we moved the children into, our home, and it was in January. So, school was already in session, and one thing they were excited about is that they were going to the school their mother went to school with, and so they were very excited about that. Yeah, which I think that's pretty special. And, but it was challenging because we were not near a military base, and the school system and administration was totally unfamiliar of what deployed children needed and required.
Yeah, right.
That was something that, and I think at that point we really didn't know what all we needed because we were all kind of just in that realm at that time where there wasn't a lot of information. There's more information for families now.
Yeah. Debbie, I want to make sure we put the book title out there. It's Deployed Grandparents Being Parents.
Right.
Do you have a website? Because we're about 3 minutes to the end already.
Okay. My website is families, just like it, FAMILIES, called CALLED, to TO, duty, DUTY, .com. It houses my book, Deployed, Grandparents Being Parents. It also houses my granddaughters. They wrote their side of the story, Deployed Kids.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we wanted to share that. When they were able to, they wanted to share what it's like to be a deployed child.
My gosh.
And so now we have a little bit of a book project that we're working on to supply books to military families. That's our next goal. So the information is to help military families have some type of support if they're dealing in deployment or reintegrating. We know the challenges of what we faced.
Oh, I am so encouraging everybody to check this out and go to familiescalledtoduty.com so that you can check out Debbie Nichols' book. We also want to make sure that everyone checks in at www.militarycharity.org, and I think I just had a beep. So
that's okay. Militarychildren'scharity.org.
And I'm sure that you are gifts, you are welcoming donations, and they can, if you are in the Anaheim area, you're going to want to go to Orange County Windustrial. They're on South Alex Street in Anaheim, California. And we want to thank both Debbie Nichols and Kristen Houston for a wonderful hour.
We always love the opportunity to share music on this show, and in thinking about messages of thanks, I found a beautiful message written by a woman named Helene Cronin. Her song, entitled Lucky Me, shares a true life situation where she met a soldier at the airport while going home from a trip. It gives perspective to the gift we are given every day by our military, and that we as a nation should always be giving our thanks. For Sandra Beck, I'm Robin Boyd, wishing you and your family blessings of peace. We'll see you next week on Military Mom Talk Radio.
Stood in line beside a soldier at the airport ticket counter, catching flights out of Tennessee. We made a little easy conversation. I asked his destination, another tour of duty in the Middle East. Then he asked me where I was headed to. When I answered home, he just said, lucky you. And I thought, lucky me, he's right. I sleep in my own bed at night. I am safe and I am warm when he's wide awake in a uniform. Lucky me, while he fights a war, I live the life he's fighting for. He is the brave, I am the free. Lucky me. I stood there silent, and all I heard, echoing from those two words, were all the things he did not say. That he's lonely and scared, battle-scarred, family back home praying hard. He never knows if he'll see another day. but he held up his head and looked me in the eye. Right there in those two words, I could hear a soldier's pride, and I thought, lucky me, that's right, I sleep in my own bed at night. I am safe and my family's warm when he's wide awake in a uniform. Lucky me, while he fights a war, I live the life he's fighting for. He is the brave, I am the free. Lucky me. I tried to thank him before we parted ways, but the best I could do was a tear rolling down my face. Lucky me, that's right, freedom comes at a heavy price, and we don't all pay our equal share or know what it's like over there. Lucky us, the ones at home, while others go to the battle zone. They are the brave, we are the free. Lucky you, lucky me, lucky you, lucky me.
Thank you for being part of Military Mom Talk Radio on TogiNet.com with Robin Boyd and Sandra Beck, the owner of Motherhood Incorporated. Military Mom Talk Radio is here each week to provide a powerful platform for women to discuss their ideas, issues, and concerns with respect to the military lifestyle. For more information on the show or Sandra and Robin, go to MilitaryMomTalkRadio.com. This is their mission, helping military moms. So join us again next Monday for Military Mom Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd, Monday afternoons, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on TogiNet.